Good morning. Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. Good morning. Good morning.
So Josh is working for us.
Good morning. Grab your coffee, grab your fruits, grab a chair.
Grab your neighbor.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome on this nice, beautiful Wednesday. Are we in spring? Is this spring?
Yeah.
I thought we spring ahead.
The clocks are ahead of us.
Okay, well, good morning. Thought it was spring. Good morning. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. My name is Lisa Davis. I will be hosting this morning. I am your MC. We want to welcome you. And I guess the first thing we kind of want to talk about is, do we have any first-time visitors here? Congratulations. Thank you for joining us. We love seeing you. Keep your hands up. Raise your hand. First-time visitors. First-time visitors. Raise your hand. Good morning, first-time visitors. Yeah, I'm going a little bit out of order. First-time visitors, raise your hand. Do we have anybody else visit us for the first time? We have one over here. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups. Let me tell you a little bit about what 1 Million Cups is. So 1 Million Cups is sponsored by the Kaufman Foundation. And what it is that they believe that small businesses need somewhere to be, somewhere to network, somewhere to talk about what they're going through and then build a community around that. And so every Wednesday morning, there's a thought around everybody's going to be enjoying a cup of coffee every single Wednesday morning at 8:30 in the morning and talking about their business, networking, and building community. So also with 1 Million Cups, what do we talk about? It's a free nationwide program. Okay. Created in 2012. Do you want me to read this one? Okay, good. Yes, to foster a culture of support and inclusivity, welcoming entrepreneurs to be open and honest about their businesses and the challenge that they face. You want me to click the screen? Okay. Also, Nia, you want to raise your hand? Where's Nia? Nia is passing around an iPad, or she's got the iPad out. We would like everybody to sign in. We love that you're here. We would like to know who you are, what you do, where you live, what school you go to, how much money you make, and all those things. So please sign in onto the iPad, scan it, or we might even have a scan code right here. So check in there. We would like to know who you are, what you do, what your name is. Our community. Yeah, so 1 Million Cups is 100% volunteer activities. We have an organizing community and we have volunteers that help to put this on every single week. They work very, very hard. We're looking for more organizers to join our volunteer community, our volunteer board, or our volunteer committee. Presenters are also wanted. You'll see someone presenting today. You'll see 2 people presenting their business today. We would love for you, if you have a business, if you feel so inspired, to sign up to be a presenter. You'll see how they present. You'll feel a little warm about it. You'll feel like, I want to jump up there. You'll feel like, I want to tell my story today. But we would like you to, get with us, schedule the time so we can prepare you to have your conversation on a day that we have time available for you. And then also, we need coffee sponsors. You guys are having great fruit, great coffee, great water, a great time, great bready things. We love a coffee sponsor. Coffee sponsors can come up and talk a little bit about who they are and why they wanted to give you coffee and donuts that morning. So please let us know. If you want to be a coffee sponsor, you can reach out to Josh. If you would like to be an organizer or a volunteer, would we like to raise our hands who the organizers are so people can get in touch with them? These are all the people on the organizing committee. These are people that are involved. These are the people that make it happen. What do you say? Consultants. Do we have any consultants in the house? Anybody that's the consultants for the small businesses? You want to raise your hand?
Sure.
Okay. So next, coffee. Oh, these are our upcoming presenters, which is why you need to schedule with us, right? So if you're ready to speak and you want to talk about your business, please let us know. As you can see, we're pretty much booked out till May, which is awesome. We got a little space in April. But this lets you know there's a huge community of small business owners. So it's not just to let people know who you are and what you do and what you're feeling about your business and maybe some of the barriers that you're hitting, but look at this great community that you can build out. right? All these are just speakers. There's a ton of people that come every single week that you can get to meet. And as a small business owner, we get siloed. We start to forget. We get into our own little worlds where we're trying to make all our own little money. This is a great way to have community and talk to people about the things you're going through, that they understand it. So today our coffee sponsor is First Merchants Bank. Would you like to? David Watkins is with First Merchants Bank, and he has a little treat of a treat for you today.
Sorry about that, everybody. Thank you. So I have a video that our marketing team put together. I want you to see this first before I speak. So our team is very unique, it's very special. Again, my name is David Watkins, and I am the Community Business Lending Officer for First Merchants Bank. And our team reports directly to corporate social responsibility. So what we want to do is be very, very supportive of our minority business owners, women business owners, and the like. So we're very strategic in how we approach access to capital for our clients. One of the products that I'm very, very proud of that is very popular in our community is our retail business banking loan, which is it's been increased up to $100,000. It's super easy to get. Okay, all you need is a Schedule C or 1120, depending on how you file. 3 years in business. And all you would need is 3 years in business, a minimum of 25,000 in revenue. Okay, and a 700 credit score on the personal and a 41 on the business. So it's super easy to get. We usually, I can get this, if I get the application in before 3 o'clock, I can get the loan approved. We can close the loan within 2 to 5 business days. Okay. One thing I just kind of wanted to talk about is our market is we're in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. We're a 100-year organization in Indiana. And they've been there for a very, very long time. And so we're doing incredible work in all these communities. We were in the Lakeshore community in Chicago, but we sold those branches to another community bank. And so, you know, we're here. We actually have a branch that's right in Ferndale, a few blocks away, right on Woodward and 9 Miles, right across the street from that Wendy's. So that branch is there. We just opened a new branch in the Fitzgerald community in Detroit. Just opened yesterday. It was our first day open, right? It's amazing. Yeah, right next to Marygrove College, and right across the street from another great nonprofit, Live Six Alliance over there. So, and Daryl has a question.
Can you talk about the difference between a regular bank and a community-focused bank?
Sure. So, community-focused bank, we're more focused on helping the small business community. We're more focused. Our product line is very strategic in helping to achieve access to capital for those clients. Whereas a larger bank may put you through a lot more underwriting guidelines. So our underwriting guidelines are a little bit more streamlined. My team we train with the underwriters, so we know exactly what they need and how to get a lot of the deals approved. So if you come to us and my team, so we're different from your traditional commercial lender. We're a very small team, and we're kind of like a hybrid. We can do the retail business banking products, and we can also do commercial loans up to $4 million. So we're doing loans for real estate loans. We're doing lines of credit. We're doing equipment loans. I'm doing auto loans, anything with a VIN number. So, you know, we're very strategic with what we do from a community banking standpoint. And we're very proud of being different in that space. So that's kind of like what we do. I have a question right here. SBA loans? Yes, we do. We do SBA 504 and 7A loans. Yep. And we have on each one of our markets, we do have someone that is on the SBA board, so they understand, they understand exactly the timelines, and we try to streamline a lot of the red tape and try to get you, to the closing table as soon as possible with that SBA deal. And so if you're interested in the SBA, by all means, give me a contact. Contact me at once. Yeah. Anybody else? Well, okay. Thank you for letting me present, and I look forward to doing business with all of y'all. Right? Okay. Thanks.
David, yes, David will get the loan done. He's got the most energy out of any banker I ever met. David is everywhere. He answers the phone all the time. He takes you back in the middle of the night. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And he will get that loan done if it's possible. I'm trying to stay in between. So when you come up to speak, we're going to have our first speaker come up. We have an online community that we have a video for that is seeing what we're doing. And so it's really important that you stand kind of right in here. So even the speakers and the people that are coming up to give your responses after they speak, try to stand in between the signs. So welcome to our YouTube and Facebook community. Hey. Hope y'all having a good day. We got fruit, bread, and coffee. And our first speaker will be live as if business coaching. You want to come up?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm right here. Am I right where I belong? Right?
Yes.
The slides. I need to see them. Thank you. All right, I'll keep looking up then from here. All right. So a little bit about my company. I'm a business coaching company. I help businesses come out of their day-to-day operations so they can get back their life. Many of us are busy working in our businesses, turning the lights on, turning them off, sweeping the front. And we brag about that, how much we do, what we do, and how well we are, and we can do everything. That makes us busy, double time, out of double booking our kids, extracurricular activities, and so on. I created Flow. Flow is an AI business coach that gives you a delegation strategy. It helps you come out of your business. 10 minutes, 20 minutes can get you 10 hours back in your day by just typing in a few prompts that, because you all are here today, you will have complete access to. So I'll tell you, oh, excellent, thank you. So I'll tell you why I started. I was exhausted. And in 2020, the end of 2020, in December, I ran from Detroit. I went to Costa Rica. It was supposed to be a 3-week vacation. It ended up being a 5-month living there, buying property. And in order to do that, I had to create a framework for my real estate business to operate on its own. I did. It broke a lot, but it was pretty successful. I went to get my business coaching certification in 2021. In 2023, I got certified. And I help other businesses do exactly what I did. ChatGPT changed the game though, because then I created Flow, which is backed up by ChatGPT, and she helped people do what I did manually. So I'm meeting with clients one-on-one, and we're going through how to get them out of their business. We're creating this 5 W's plus how. Clarity is kindness. I believe that. And that is how you delegate. And that's what Flow creates for you and your staff. I was creating that myself with their staff. And then once I developed Flow, Flow can now go in and create the entire thing. I have a video that I didn't have teed up for you, but I have a link for you so you can go to my LinkedIn, and then you'll be able to see Flow in action. She's a little sassy too. She had to be programmed like me. So these are the things that she does. Let's talk about why I'm here, because I need your help. I need some feedback to get Flow to the masses. What we tried so far. Oh, go back. Okay. What we do. Oh, I think I talked a little bit about this already so that you could, yeah. And then I do the other stuff at the bottom. You were probably reading while I was talking. So what I've tried, I want to go back to what I've tried. What we do. Oh, our biggest challenge. Thank you. Showing people that AI is not scary. How many of you in here use AI? Daily basis. How many of you use AI in your business on a daily basis? Awesome. I like this group. So Flow will be easy for you. This is gonna be easy for you to at least give me some feedback, if nothing else. Getting flow to the masses. I was talking to Lisa this morning and she was saying, well, you are afraid of funding. It was a little pushback and forth. And I said, well, not really. And she was like, unless you want to blow up your marketing or something like that, right? That's my words. And I was like, you're right. Tell me more. And she was like, I'll be back. Gotta present. So hopefully we'll get to talk more about marketing because I want to get flow to the masses because guess how cheap flow is? Free. Where's the catch? There isn't one. So I also need help with the messaging. How do I intrigue people enough, people that are not using her, but are exhausted so that they want to try her and see if she can help? I mean, 10 minutes. We doom scroll we do some stuff for 10 minutes. We can see if we can get ourselves out of our businesses for 10 hours by giving 10 minutes. Okay, so what I tried so far, okay. I use her with my clients. I used to keep flow as a secret, y'all. I kept her away from everybody. She was just. And then as I grew and got more one-on-one clients, I was like, oh no, they need to have flow. Because if they had her, we wouldn't have to sit in session and use her together. So I've screen shared and they've been able to leverage flow through the screen share. And then I gave flow up. I was like, here you go. Take her, please. 24 hours on demand. You can have flow. Give her to your whole staff. Like you get a flow, you get a flow, you get a flow, you get a flow, right? Everybody can have her. So I post about flow on social media and I'm telling entrepreneurs, it's so long for the slide. I'm telling entrepreneurs about them in person. I'm here telling you about flow in person and you too. Okay, lessons I've learned. So there is a quote, I believe it's attributed to Socrates. And it says, you know the quote, tell me and I'll forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I'll understand. So I'm trying to get as many people involved with flow as possible. And it's a lot of faces here, so I know we're gonna have a line wrapped around like twice, double circle, so you can help me. What I'm doing is too much telling. I talk about her all the time. I do videos with her, I dance with her online, and not enough involving folks. My time is consuming. Marketing 101, the demos. I sit with people for 15 to 30 minutes and show them how flow can help them in their business. That takes up a lot of time. And lessons learned, I need you to use her so I can make her better. So I can start charging for her because right now she's free and there will always be a free version. I promise you that. But the piece that's on my website, she only gets better as you tell me how you need me to program her. So my ask from you this morning is what messaging would get you as a business owner to use TriFlow in your business? How can I gain more visibility? Where can I go? Where can I put flow in front of folks, do some demos, some trials, etc.? And then what's missing? You don't know what flow does, so it's a little difficult to ask that question. She gives you a delegation framework so you can hand it off to someone. She also gives you a rest practice because that's what I talk about, radical rest. There's a lot that she does. Hopefully you'll use her today. I think my anchor is here. So I want you to download Flow's CEO prompt playbook. That's going to give you the most quality prompts. Because if we don't know how to prompt the thing, garbage in, garbage out, we don't know how to get good answers. So that prompt, it has over 63 prompts, and I'm updating it daily based on the feedback that I get. I had a workshop yesterday, last night, got feedback. I will be updating Flow according to the feedback that they gave me. So this is an iterative process. We go together, Flow and me, so we always together. You can stay connected with me if you want. You can also schedule your demo. And there's my LinkedIn, so you can see me and Flo and how she talks and how she would also talk to you.
Thank you. Yes, great job. Thank you. I'm gonna ask community at this time, great presentation. I want to ask the community at this time to come up and offer your suggestions and form a line right around here to the side to help discuss how we can get how the community can help get you back to your business.
Messaging.
What messaging would you make to
flow?
Okay. Yeah. So what messaging would you use to make flow so you can get back time from your business and help flow grow? Okay, this will be for you.
Oh,
And this will be for you. Switch mic.
Yeah, hi.
switch mics.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Steve. One of the most impactful things that I think you could do is to stand in front of people with with flow open and just say, excuse me, who has a problem with time management? And everybody would raise their hand, then say, what is your biggest problem? And type it in and see what the results are.
Thank you.
Hello, lady. Hi, everybody. I'm always up here.
Thank you, Jeff.
Love it, love it. I think from a marketing perspective, the main thing you can do to really answer that first question is boil it down to money. That's all we're all about. So how much flow could save, how much flow could increase revenue. So we even put in the quantitative, like 10x your business this way with flow. And then if you can, make your demo automated so you don't have to be involved in it. I'll give an example. I was just doing a demo last night, sesame.com, and it was all automated. Just went there, it's an AI. How I found out about it is my third suggestion, which is using influencers to tell about your tool. If you guys aren't familiar with Michael Seltzner, he owns Social Media Marketing World. It's a social media examiner. But anyway, he did a demo on his podcast using the AI. So those are.
Thank you.
Good morning, Shalece.
Good morning.
I'm Tanisha Molden.
Can you repeat that?
I'm Tanisha Molden, intellectual property attorney. No, I talk to Shalece almost every day. She's my business bestie. So I call these people my squad. There's three of us. So if you don't have a squad that you can talk to support you, get one. Some of these things I didn't know though. What I would want to offer you, what's missing or what can do is collaboration with Molden Law and my entrepreneurs. If you could come in and share this tool with my entrepreneurs that I work with, I think that would be awesome.
I'll get back to you with an answer in 24 to 48 hours. Of course I can.
Yeah, so that's, I think what you're doing is great. It's like with anything and what we're learning, we just have to keep doing and do more of it. So I guess I always ask a question since I don't know if we have time, but can I ask a question, Lisa? Okay, so I don't remember what worked. What did you do that worked?
I think it was all of what didn't work, but what has been working is the one-on-one demos, getting feedback, doing it with my clients and then dropping it into their business. Those things are gonna work.
Yeah, so the suggestion I would make then is how can we turn that one to many?
Yeah.
To increase and then, once you get that down, one to many, then how can we replace you and get somebody else to do one to many and automate it? So that would be something to look into.
I might talk to you about that.
Okay, that's great.
Later.
This is the bunch right here. Actually, my wife is part of that trio that you talked about, so that's what we talk about. I actually have more actual questions. So does Flow work over all of the different AI generative platforms applied, outside of ChatGPT?
That's the goal right now. She's the custom GPT. She sits on my website though, backed by Gemini, Claude, and Chat.
And
Yeah,
two more
with their
marketing.
ATM. Not all of them, but those three
Okay.
right now. But I'm working on integrating Monica.ai, hopefully get access to Menace
Yeah.
to get that as
Yeah.
well. But thank you so much for
Yeah,
that suggestion.
because they all will have a little bit slight enhancement, as you know. So yeah, and then the other question.
That part won't be free though. The one
Oh,
on
okay.
my website.
Okay. You got it covered. So, and then the other question is, as far as like, there is now DeepSeek, and do you plan to actually integrate that in? Because that is a game changer.
I had not for chat.
Yeah.
We'll see. What I want, the feedback that I got, if you don't mind, really what I want to do is I want to give Flo like an assistant like John or Joey
Yeah.
or Tyrone
Yep.
and have them do things. Because that's the
They can do
biggest
that.
request that I get
Yep.
is having them actually do the thing. So I'd love to have that as a
So
third
there's
iteration.
that workflow that can be created for those tasks, generative bots, quote unquote, to do those things. And so, yeah, so think about looking at DeepSeek because it is an extremely, for those, anybody familiar with that, DeepSeek? So, all right.
Come on.
Oh, so yeah, it's a really good, deep research tool. So if you really want to get down into it, it is a paid kind of subscription, not marketing for them. I'm just saying that's a good add-in to put into your deck as well.
Thank you.
And also Shop.
We'll talk about it later. I'll come
I'm
over.
sure.
Hello, everyone. I'm Derek Jones, Municipal Call.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? So one of the things I would
Oh, your mic on.
one of the things I would definitely recommend as far as like your audience you're trying to target, business owners, business employees, so and so forth. LinkedIn will probably be the strongest place for you to be as far as creating strategy and being there long term. I would also recommend a name Flow. It is a little bit confusing to say you want to go do some advertising on Google. You'd be kind of getting some of the Flow progressive person who also has the same name as far as like searches that will come up. So it make it more competitive for you. So adding something to the name will probably help. And then another thing as far as like having assistants and also having to do more for just one mainstream area. Centra. Y'all know if you ever heard of Centra before?
SINTRA
Yep.
with the assistants?
Yes.
Yeah, I have. I haven't explored what they can do, but I've heard of it.
I've been using that for a while. So it has individual bots that actually do specific things for you in order to build your strategy.
So they do the things. They schedule the meeting.
They schedule the meetings, they post the meetings, they help you come up with all planning for everything.
Yeah, you're
So-
the first person that I've heard, like in real life, that uses it besides, the Facebook ads.
Yeah,
You're the first person. So yeah, I'll absolutely look more into Central.
well, let me know. I'll share the information with you.
Yeah.
But it's like 12 different bots and they all do an amazing job.
If you have an affiliate code or something, then you can absolutely, share that and I'll check it out.
Okay.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm loud. Mike McClure Marketing. Do you have clients that are using it and are happy with it?
I do.
I would say the best messaging you can do is to get them to give you testimonials, preferably on video if you can, but even if it's written, because that's good messaging. Nothing shows how well it works than having people who are using it, especially if they're enthusiastic about it. If you can get even if you're just recording them with your phone and then you can share that on social media, website. But even if they don't want to do a video, get them to just write something up and you can put that on your website or share it on social media. That would probably be the best messaging you can do.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Lynn Drake. How are you?
Lynn, I'm awesome.
Good. I just wanted to share with you how I learned AI because you might want to copy. So I have been going to the same coach on and off for 20 years. And he's done 2 courses on AI. They're $675 each. And he's having attendance of about 100 to 200 people on the phone. So I think
A course might be in order.
yeah, of course, and they're like once a week and they're 1 hour at lunch. And he's run 2 and I never thought I would use AI and I use it every day now.
How long is the cohort? So once a week for how many?
For 6 weeks.
From 6 to about $100.
$100, yeah, yeah.
Something like that. And they're an hour and it's during lunchtime.
Yep.
Can I have that information? I'd love to take the course.
Yeah, if you give me your card, I will send you that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Jill Leonard.
Again,
What I was thinking, I heard you say you were a realtor.
I am a real estate investor.
Well,
what I'm thinking is you have a huge list of contacts, right? So what I was thinking is if you had a newsletter, you could automate and show a different aspect of flow every time. So the headline in your email is like, get some rest. Have you gotten any rest lately? And then in there is like the snippet, maybe like a TikTok size snippet.
Yeah.
And then every week you automate if you need help automating it. That's what I do. I have a platform to do that. But then you're getting it in front of their eyeballs because there's entrepreneurs out there. Those people out there. They already know you, right? And so they're going to be more likely to want to, participate with anything you have. So that would be my suggestion.
I love it. I love the demo, the snippet of the demo in the email.
Yeah, like a TikTok.
Every
Maybe
time.
repurpose.
I
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah,
The demo,
yeah, yeah.
or the testimonial, what Michael was saying.
exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just got a couple of comments. So Shalece says we sit on the board together with the National Association of African Americans and Human Resources, and that's how I know Shalece. And so I just want to talk. I'm a business owner myself, right? And I'm a photographer. I'm a professional photographer. So the way I would like to use AI is to help me with my workflow. So I guess my request would be to maybe try and market towards the photography industry because we spend a lot of time in post-production and that's just way too much time. So the way AI can help us is by, copying our tendencies and how we edit photos. And that takes a long time, especially if you're doing weddings. It could be a 17-hour, edit after the event is over. So I think that if you market your product towards the photography industry, I think that'll get you a lot of clients. Because I'm about client development, right? So, and then you need a line of credit, right? So you need to come to business. You don't need a line of credit because there are gaps. There's going to be gaps.
I have a quick question though, for you, or
Yes.
for the photographer assistant. What if I didn't? So Flow can't do workflows at the moment. So the gap that I use is I understand and I know how to hire very well, cheap labor. And what if I were to show you, in addition to Flow, like you can purchase as an add-on, Flow's free, but you can purchase how to hire in some type of maybe 1 hour, what Lynn talked about, segment, how to go on Upwork, or we'll do it together and get someone so that you can pay $50 a week and they can do that deep editing.
See, here's the thing. When it comes to editing, it's like we season to taste. It's kind of like being a chef. And that's very, very personal for us. So the way I was told, and I know a couple of photographers, they use AI in that way. And it just kind of mimics our tendencies when we're into the workflow. And so I would like to see Flow do it because we don't want another person in the room while we're editing. That's kind of like, that's a trade secret, because everybody doesn't do it the same way. And so, that's just a suggestion. That industry is wide open for AI. Okay, so think about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That sounds like some Centra stuff that might be able to do that. Oh yeah, my time is up. Okay.
Oh, we have questions on
yes.
on Facebook from the online community.
Hey y'all.
So the comment from Joe Lacavoli, who is one of our organizers, is great presentation and great work on Flow. Make sure to listen closely to your potential customer base. Do not make any ad hoc changes to the application unless and until you have carefully analyzed how any changes help add to your customer base and eventual bottom line. You will receive a never-ending amount of suggestions. Don't be reactive. Let it all sink in and try to be strategic.
Okay.
That's one of our organizers, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Right. All right, Shalece, thank you. So out of all the comments that you heard, what did you think was a good takeaway for you that you could implement right away?
Centra, I'm going to, because it appears that even what David said, I'm going to look into getting agents to actually do things. And then that course, what Lynn said, like teach people, give them bite-sized things so that it can take the fear away and they can learn over short periods of time.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Facebook. You might want this back for.
Yeah, I'll take that. So our next presenter is Ideal Operations, Jeffrey Sage. Would you like to come up, Jeffrey? Hello, good morning. Jeffrey's gonna tell us about his business.
Where's the, Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Sage. I run the Ideal Operations Company. We've been in business 4 years now this month. The roots of this business started 45 years ago, when IBM first came out with packaged software systems. And the direction at that time was put the software systems in because it'll run people's businesses for them, which was kind of like hogwash. Because I discovered real quick that customers have uniqueness in their business that they really need to reflect within the tools that they use. So I was working with a team at that time where we made the systems do what the people really needed to do in their business. So that really formed the basis for what I've been doing. You know, about 10 years later, I went into consulting, started with the IBM Consulting Group, and I've worked for a different consulting organizations through the years, and have developed the principles and disciplines around how do I help people optimize what they do, really understand what their business is all about so that the right tools can be put in. And people save a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resource to get that done. And it supports the business, the uniqueness of their business. Now this has got advancing to it, advances ahead. The IDEAL is an acronym. And IDEAL stands for insight, which we get a framework for how your business runs. Then there's a part that's called the Dream Team Communication, which is the baseline for the optimization that I do. There's communication disciplines that are inherent within a business that you really need to optimize. And then there's the explicit blueprint, which is a standard way in which you put models together. I make them very visual so that people can really see what's going on in their business. Who does what for whom, how, and why. That's where the A comes in, the aligned processes. Because now I know exactly what people do, the company knows exactly what people do, and they also know exactly what they need to support. So out of that work comes the requirements for what tools need to do. And it's very easy to find the solutions to do that, rather than a software marketing company coming and selling you a line of BS, because that's what happens. And then you get wrapped up in trying to make it work in your business and it fails. Whereas you got to be able to manage it from the top down. And finally, the lean audit is making sure that you eliminate all the unnecessary, wasteful, redundant activities. I got a story about, I did a project one time. I ran the internal consulting organization for General Motors for 4 years. And one of the projects we worked on at that time, 80% of what the organization was doing was unnecessary. 80%. And I find that in a lot of businesses, when you take a look at it from the top down before you get to the solutions, you eliminate a lot of that unnecessary work. So the solution you put in matches exactly what your business needs. Challenges. Demonstrating the proven impact of this kind of work is the challenge that I have, because people aren't really attuned to what this can provide for them. Simplifying and optimizing models is a challenge to be able to tell people. Creating effective messaging in the SMB environment, small and medium-sized business, which is where I focus. My company focuses on SMBs. I work for very large companies. I've worked for 4-person accounting firms all the way up to the largest companies in the world. And it all is relevant no matter what business you're in. And then finally, engaging the senior leaders in this discussion, because they're too busy. They don't have enough time. When I get my new software in and get it running, then I'll have some time. And that's wrong, because that doesn't happen. They just keep busy, keep them busy, and keep them busy, and keep them busy. It's getting to those people that's the challenge. What have I tried? I've been involved currently, and have been in the past, many networking organizations. 1 Million Cups isn't one of them. I'm active with that. And then I don't know if you'll recognize some of these. I had the acronyms up there, but Drake, my friend here, said to write them all out, so that's what I did. But these are the ones that I've been involved with. There may be a few more that I didn't include on that list. And then I've done LinkedIn messaging, emails, flyers, brochures, and so on. But the challenge is getting to that audience of the senior leaders of companies. Because when I finally get to talk to them and do the work, light bulbs go out. And it doesn't take that much time. Small businesses, I may spend 2 or 3 2-hour meetings with them, and that's it. I don't come up with the solutions. I facilitate the ability for them to understand what they need. One of the most recent projects I worked on, it took 2 meetings. After the end of the second meeting, the gentleman I worked with identified his problem and fixed it. He went from having multiple defects in his products to 0. Because it wasn't visual for him, and that's what we did. So what have I learned from what we tried? Organizations make emotional decisions on products. They go out and look at products from multiple different companies, and they pick the one that gives them the best marketing presentation, typically. So they make an emotional decision. It's not based on their business need. Understanding how the value flows through the company. That's what I need help in helping people understand. Because when you look at, when I talked about the communications earlier, it's I do something for somebody else. Do I ever have the conversation with them about what I'm providing as value to them? And so on through the organization. When you look at that, that's what happened in that GM project, was they didn't really have those conversations. Automating a lot of times just makes your mistakes happen faster. And you do more of them. You know, I made mistakes now I can make more mistakes and still automate it. That's what happens a lot of times in these organizations, is that mistakes happen faster. Like I said before, executives declare, we don't have time. But as soon as we get this software in, we have time. I got a war story about a company that we've been trying to work with for a while, and trained them on some of this stuff. But they said, well, we got to get our ERP system in. In the meantime, they lost sight of the value that they provide for their customer. Their largest customer, as a matter of fact, exited their business. They lost 50% of the revenue. Had they, looked at how they run their business up front, which was months before that happened, that would never have happened. So, but I will tell you the name of that company. And then firefighting is the norm. Everybody is firefighting. What we do is help people eliminate those fires from happening. That's what we do. Help needed, crafting the messaging to get those to those executives. And visibility in the appropriate groups to get to those executive people. There's a lot of them out there that when I finally get to talk to them, they see the light. And they say, where have you been all my life? I just did a project recently. It was 3 weeks ago. And got feedback from the customer afterwards saying, what should I have done differently? And they said, well, maybe, you did a 3-day program. Maybe we should break that up into, a day here on day off, day on, day off, because at the end of each day we were exhausted. And I thought that was good feedback, that I really gave them what they needed. And another person in the same meeting says, we should have done this 10 years ago. Seriously, and I hear that quite often. So that's where I need help.
Thank you. All right, come on up, and we're going to offer suggestions for Ideal about his business, and try to talk about the challenges that he had as far as visibility, and what were they? Visibility is the appropriate market. Crafting a power. Getting his business out there and making some money. Come on. You have to be right here.
Hi, my
You
name
gotta
is
come up and hug me
Andrea.
before you say something.
Absolutely. You know, the first thing that came to my mind, that kept coming to my mind is like salespeople do. They start with middle management or they start with secretaries. They don't go for the person on the top. So if you're, for example, in one of those restaurants that a lot of people at GM hang out at lunchtime and you hear conversations and it's from a middle manager complaining about their team, just talk to them and start on that scale. Because if you can start and the executives of that organization or their executives can see how you've impacted that middle market, of course, they'll invite you to do other things, I would think.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else want to come up?
Man.
Hey, Jeff, how are
Is this
you?
working?
So I totally understand what you're doing. This is amazing. But you have to be able to simplify the message down to a level where everybody can understand this. I love the acronym. Maybe put some little dots so that people know it's an acronym. Might be a good idea, but also get somebody that's a specialist in marketing. And I think we've got a few of those people in this room to kind of help to bring the message down so that most people can understand exactly what you do.
That helped a lot, yes.
Also be able to put a dollar value on that. One of the things I did early in my career is I sold the technology that people had no clue what it did. But when I talked about putting time back into your day, making you more efficient, saving your company money, saving your company, that's the message that they hear. So it's got to be a dollar value associated with that in your messaging. And keep doing LinkedIn. Get a LinkedIn premium subscription so you can reach out to the people at those higher levels that you can send the messaging directly.
Good, thank
These
you.
are my thoughts.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Joaquin,
Go ahead.
and I think you have a great business. I think just creating case studies and testimonials, and I think that's, I mean, putting the value on testimonial. I think that speaks, louder than any marketing. So that was it.
Okay, thank you.
Hello there. I don't think I introduced myself when I was up here last time.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Melissa McClary Davis? Okay. I'll make sure I did that. What I know a lot of people don't know, I worked in management consulting for like 10 years, competed with McKinsey, worked, Booz Allen, things like that. So I understand the situation of trying to get executives to understand their problem and stop firefighting. I think from crafting the right message, the message is everything. And today, I fall into this trap as well. It's not about your capabilities and your experiences as much as it is their pain and what they're going through. And the other side, so showing them the results. So again, quantify the results that happen. LinkedIn works, but now it's moving away from, oh, hey, let me give you a white paper on, what I've done and things like that. It's more organic. It's more video, visual. Definitely provide them with case studies or testimonials from your existing clients where executives, they're not going to want to go on camera and go like, hey, yeah, they did a great job for me. They helped my struggling business. But you want to figure out a way, maybe working with the middle managers to kind of discuss it from a problem solving case to train the company, but you're going to use it for new clients type of content to create. And then of course, I'm sure this is probably with your experiences that works for you. I know it works for me is just the referrals, the referral network of getting business owners who are chopping it up, down at the DAC about their business versus other businesses and getting the referrals out like, well, yeah, you need to work with Ideal because they are great at X, Y, and Z. So those are some steps.
Yeah, the middle management area is where they feel the pain and the financial benefit of it, and then that bubbles up.
Yes, because I used to be a business process reengineering consultant, working out in did some things like in Lansing with Oldsmobile that no longer exists anymore. And that's what we worked with on programs and the middle management and getting them on board. And then they kind of champion it up to the executives. So for sure, working with them. But the decision maker is often the executive, especially with small businesses. So
We can talk about business process reengineering sometime.
yeah, we should.
Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Drake with Compass Commercial. How are you?
Good to see you again. You were up here
Thank
early.
you. Yes, I know. I like to talk. Did you notice?
Every opportunity.
I have a couple of suggestions for you. Generally, when I sell to the CFO, so I feel your pain. The best way I have found is I generally send a letter in advance explaining what I wanted to talk to them about. I give them a case study, and then there's a PS of something that they might want to know or something that's going to grab their attention. Then I make a few calls. If I don't hear anything, I call their assistant. Once I talk to their assistant and explain why they want to talk to me, I generally do get a call back. So that would be my suggestion.
Okay,
And
thanks.
there's case studies generally in my letters too. So.
Great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jewel Nard, and I don't have a suggestion for you, but I just wanted to say
Okay, thank you very much.
SMB is a really big area, so I feel
Right.
like you and I have the same problem. And you just have a larger client focus than I do. But what I wanted to suggest is maybe we can bounce some ideas off of each other, because that part of getting their attention, that's exactly the struggle, is how do you make these longer term strategies important to people? And so I would love to connect with you.
Fantastic, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, great job. Tanisha Molden. I'm an intellectual property attorney. And I want to kind of piggyback on what Daryl said. And I say I'm an intellectual property attorney, and most people think of me as I'm a law firm. But how I think of myself is I'm a marketing company who happens to deliver legal services. So I say that, and when he mentioned simplifying your message, is what I do is I have a lead in. What's the simplest thing to get people into my orbit? And then we can share what we do and everything that we provide. How can you simplify it where they can get into your, I call it your orbit, so you can start communicating what the full value of what you offer. But sometimes if we try to give them everything, it's too overwhelming. They just need that one piece to get them in the door, and then you can start giving them piece by piece on what you provide.
I actually have IP that I'd like to somehow preserve. Have a conversation about that sometime.
Yeah, and we can have a conversation about that too.
Thanks.
Hi, so I have my history and my background is operational, right?
Fine,
So-
I'll do things about you every time.
Exactly, right? I wear many hats. I did roofing, I did all kind of stuff, right, in my career. But you never know. You never know what you end up doing, right? So yeah, having said that, there's a story, and Lisa can attest to it, because she used to work for Talmer Bank. I used to work for Talmer. I interviewed for Talmer. I'm saying I didn't work for him. I interviewed for him. And I had a conversation with a couple of old bankers from way back, right? We got to talking about, my skill set and all this kind of stuff. And then I start talking about flow. I start talking about things that they could identify with, because they could identify with what we used to, the way checks were processed, the way banking was back in the 80s. And they could identify with all that stuff. So I'm saying that to say, the operational processes, to what the last speaker had just said, to simplify that stuff, keep it real simple, and talk about the things, especially when you're pitching. If you pitch your program to banks, there's a way to to talk their language, and I think that simplifying those processes will make it a lot more easier. And when you start talking about CRA. Anybody in this room, if you pitch to banks, start talking about CRA and speak their language, right? Because when you do that, you're giving them something that they need. Okay, so it has to be a reciprocating relationship when you start trying to market to financial institutions. So I think that will I'm a big marketing person too. So it's kind of like, if you wanna like expand your customer base, always bring that there, and then talk about how, you can present opportunities to the banks or to the financial institutions for CRA. And that's Community Reinvestment Act activities, if you don't know what that stuff is. So I thought I put that out there. I keep saying CRA, nobody know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, so that's if you start when you speak that language, when you talk to financial institutions, you'll get a listening ear and then simplify the operational processes that you have, like the last speaker said, and I think you get you some clients. Oh, you need $100,000 line of credit, so come see me for that. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't use the word flow because I was using the previous presentation. I have a lot of flow. I have a lot of flow conversations today.
So listen, CRA is a cost center. That's why he brings it up. So yeah, CRA, they have a cost center. That means it's operations. That means that you can save them some money because we spend all the money, spending the money and being in operations. We need to have cost savings in that cost. Absolutely.
What's advancing one slide if you would? Contact information.
So this is the contact information.
There you go, that's contact
Very
information.
good.
From the other deal.
So out of all the ideas you heard today, what do you think you'll be able to implement no, let me ask this question. We have actually a comment from online, and we do have our online community and YouTube and Facebook. So this says, great presentation and solid ideas discussed. How you market your management consulting to break into the C-level and ownership of your client base will be your key to success. Also, it was interesting. We met Saturday morning.
Joe. That's from Joe.
That's from Joe. Call me. I would love to help. Is that good for you?
That's Joe at the Boulder, yeah.
Are there any more comments from the online community? No? Okay, so out of all the comments and all the valuable input that you heard, what do you think you'll be able to influence as soon as possible?
Well, one of the key ones was starting at that middle management level and moving up. And being able to permeate that to the senior executives, because if you get the middle management excited about being able to save boatloads of money, which, I tell people that you get 20 extra return on investment, and they get sold on that, then they can sell it up and get to those executive levels.
Yeah, because we all looking to save money.
I have one other comment. This just came into my mind.
Sure.
Finding a good salesperson who has a Rolodex, I'm using an old term, of contacts in that space. Unfortunately, there are a lot of layoffs going on right now. Reach out on LinkedIn and find somebody who might be looking for a sales job because they know how to talk to people. They understand messaging more than anything else. So that might be a good thing.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Thank you, Jeff. That will be. So Lisa's going to put me to work. I want to thank our presenters this morning. Shalece, an amazing job. Thank you so much for being brave and coming up and talking about your business. And we want to learn more about flow. Absolutely. And Jeff, thank you so much. So real quickly, where's the clicker? Gotcha. One of the things that we do as a community is we want to let people know what's going on in the world. There are lots of events. So here's one that's coming up, how to connect with influencers. Everybody is on social media. How to get influencers to talk about your product or to talk about your service. There's a workshop coming up that David Benjamin, who is a marketing expert, is going to be putting on very soon. So there are QR codes around the room.
On the table by the food.
On the table by the food. You can't miss it 'cause it's by the food. If you'd like to attend,
it's free.
It's free. And there's food and drink?
And there's food.
Food and drink, all right. And also, if you like cigars and social networking, this is $10. This is the first Wednesday of every month. And you'll love this because he has some really cool guests. So if you'd like to attend, it's at Good Times on Livernois in Detroit. That is an amazing area. If you've not been there, that's a really cool area. And also Open Thrive has some upcoming events. Tomorrow, Planning for Success, Business Strategy and Proposal Writing. And that is going to be in Southfield. It's at the Southfield Chamber offices in the morning. March 25th. This is very, very important for business owners. The Earned Sick Time Act. Are you compliant? There's a workshop coming up. And all these workshops are on the Oakland Thrive website, oaklandthrive.org/workshops and events. March 27th, speed networking at Bamboo in Royal Oak. And then April 3rd, the Oakland Thrive Awards and Small Business Spotlight. This is our signature event. This is a fundraiser for Oakland Thrive to help keep our programs going and to help keep paying our B2B partners because we love them and we got to keep them employed. April 3rd, Royal Oak Farmers Market. Tickets are $75. that includes over 25 food vendors, free food, 2 drink tickets, and an awards ceremony that helps to celebrate small business in Oakland County. That is all I have today. Thank you so much again. Don't forget, we do a group photo and we give our presenters beautiful orange cups as mementos. Don't forget. I know. You're gonna make sure you get your orange cup this morning. So if you'll listen to our in-house photographer, Carmen, she's gonna gather up us all together in the middle of the room. Look forward to seeing you next week. And don't forget, we have 2 more exciting presenters coming up next week. Yummy Pop Popcorn and Valley Natural. So come back next week. Invite a friend. Again, if this is your first time here, thank you so much. Tell others about our community. We don't just network, we make meaningful connections. So thank you.